Rebuilding sexual desire after years of being rejected. That's our topic today, and believe me, more people live in this situation than you can imagine. I'm Dr. Doug Weiss. I'm the Executive Director of Heart to Heart Counseling Center in Colorado Springs, and I have helped for the last 4 decades men and women reclaim their sexual desire after years, sometimes decades, of being alone and rejected sexually. So definitely, if you've not subscribed to our channel, we have so much on this kinds of topics. You want to go ahead and click the button and subscribe. And if you haven't asked a question and you have one, go ahead and put it in the box and we'll get to you as soon as possible. So how do we create sexual desire after there's been all of these maybe years of rejection, hurt, resentment, anger, frustration? Well, the first thing is you have to resolve the why. Okay, we do have a DVD called Sexless in Marriage, and there might be more whys than we're going to get to right now. But in that DVD, I go into several options. Right now, I want to talk about just a handful. If you have had infidelity, there might be what we call a partner betrayal trauma, which can reset the desire for sexuality until there's some healing and some real facts about the infidelity as far as when it started, when it stopped, and did it stop. If a woman can't trust again or a man can't trust again, that could be a real challenge. If there has been an active pornography addiction, okay, and it's not been discovered or asked about, just ask your spouse, are you looking at pornography? How often? Are you masturbating? If that's going on, then the desire for sexuality is literally neurologically attached to another world and not attached to a real person. So they would have to have sex with you, eyes open, lights on, nurturing conversation, and be present with you and looking at you for them to actually create a sexual desire for you, because the desire right now is for an object world. Your attachment, if it's there, you're going to have less desire or no desire for your real partner, your real spouse. And so you need to find the why. So if there's intimacy anorexia, there's going to be absolute avoidance of sex because it's one of the symptoms. You know, intimacy anorexia is where you actively avoid emotional, spiritual, and physical connection. Here's some of the symptoms, and if this is affecting you, definitely go on our channel. We have several things on intimacy anorexia to explain that. Of course, there's the book, the DVD, all kinds of stuff for the spouse called Married and Alone. But here it is. They are actively withholding emotional, spiritual, and physical intimacy. The characteristics, they're too busy for you. Not for anyone else, but too busy for you. They blame you for all the problems in the relationship. They withhold love from you, especially the way you want it. They withhold spiritually from you. They are unwilling or unable to share their feelings with you. They either withhold sex, like we're talking about today, or they are disconnected during sex. Either way, you feel married and alone. They're unwilling or unable to share their feelings with you. Okay, oftentimes they have ongoing or ungrounded criticism of you. They use anger or silence as a way to control you in the relationship. You feel married and alone. You feel like a roommate. You've discussed this again and again. And depending on what decade you are in your marriage, you might be overcompensating, being distracted, accepting that you have separate lives, or you're beginning to feel hopeless. And so you can still create desire if there is resolution with the why. Depression can put someone in a spot where they don't want to be sexual. Low testosterone can do that for women as well. Also, if there is thyroid disorder, that can also affect the sexual desire. But those are physical things. And those are medical things that oftentimes a couple will address early to make sure that that's not the problem. Oftentimes, those are not the problem, but if they are, those are easy to resolve. So resolve your why. And then if the person who is actually withholding the sex can own the why, can take responsibility for the why, and give the spouse a legitimate plan. So like say with the infidelity or porn addiction, they can say, listen, I'm going to go to recovery groups, I'm going to do counseling, I'm going to take a polygraph once a quarter to verify I'm not doing that, I'm going to protect you. Okay, that's a plan. If it's low thyroid, I'm going to get my medicine, we're going to create a sexual agreement, I'm going to have sex with you 2 or 3 times a week, whatever we come up with, and that's the plan. Okay, so if there's ownership, and then thirdly, if there is a plan, there can be the desire to have sex again. Now, in that plan, if you want to create desire, and I've done this more than 1,000 times, you have to start outside the bedroom. Intimacy starts outside the bedroom, and I've had couples not have sex for 5, 10, 15, and 20 years, and in weeks of doing what I'm going to suggest to you, they not only were having sex, they liked each other. These exercises are in the book Emotional Fitness. They're also in the book Intimacy, a 100-Day Guide to Lasting Relationships. We call them the 3 Dailies. And you might need to email my office for a feelings list, and that's okay. Just go to drdugweiss.com, hit the email, and ask for the feelings list. They'll get it to you. But you want to do 2 feelings a day, and there's rules to that. Not about it, no examples by each other. So you can't say, I feel this when you're doing the exercise. You maintain eye contact, and there's no feedback. You put your finger on the paper, you find a feeling, you do your feeling, one present, one past, for 90 days, so that you develop your emotional vocabulary. After 90 days, you can just do feelings from your day. You do 2 praises a day, and you'd be amazed when you get in a situation like this, how negative you start looking at each other instead of the positive. So you come up with 2 praises every day, okay? I really love or appreciate or value, ... about you. Make sure they say thank you, and then they give you one thank you, and you do 2 of those a day. And then some kind of prayer or spiritual connection, thanking God for your relationship or whatever else you want to pray about. Fantastic. Then also, I would recommend you start dating again. Once a week, you spend 3 or 4 hours out of the house. You rotate responsibility, who decides what we're going to do on the date, so that it's fair and everyone's having fun. And when it's not your turn, you be the happy camper, and start building the disciplines of intimacy. Intimacy is a result of a set of disciplines, just like health is, just like wealth is. If you're not saving money and you're overspending, you're not going to be wealthy. But if you are saving money, investing money, you will be wealthy no matter what over the decades if you do that, because the disciplines get you to the outcomes. So if you have been disrupted in your sexuality, you can create a new path. And if you need help, we're here for you. We do this all the time at Heart to Heart. The phone number is 719-278-3708. The website, drdugweiss.com. And you can get help. This is not unsurmountable. Even if there's psychological disorders, you can ask to be tested to find out what they are. Okay? And so we want you to have an incredible marriage, a relationship, sex life, happiness, and intimacy. So hopefully this encouraged you. And I want you to know that there is desire after these years of drought. You can have a really fantastic marriage. I've seen it with my own eyes, and I hope that becomes you.